I lost track of time. Now we're live. Here we are. Come on in, everybody. We see you out there. Thanks for waiting. Come on in. Chat's live. We are live today. We're live. So come in, join the chat. Hit that like button. Make sure you let us know that you're around. So I'm changing my Facebook even as we speak right now in order to have them be able to come in. There it is, public. We're saved. Here we are. You haven't missed anything. Come on in, folks. Come on in. And again, it looks like it's just Glenn and I. Mitch was threatening, and Allison was talking about coming in, and
just a bunch of lightweights.
You never know with Rosema. Yeah.
Rosema.
Where are you, Scott? Rosema. Scott Rosema. Come in, please. Yeah. We have a great book to show you this morning. It's going to be fun. Glenn and I know practically nothing about it. I've had it on my shelves for about 40 years. I've read it. I read it a long time ago, and
I've got martial law, and I've not opened it yet. When did that come out? 1983 or something?
Yeah, about 83, 84, maybe 85. Yeah.
You know, I only just read, is it American Sentinel by Dave Gibbons? The Sentinel or something.
Well, who was that? Not the Liberty one.
Right? Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Miss Liberty, I think it was called, with Miller and Gibbons.
Yeah, so whatever it is. I only read it last year. That's been shouting at me for 40 years off the shelf, you know. So.
Well, it's been, I think I read this when it first came out, and I haven't touched it since. It's just been sitting on my shelf. I love it. It's great stuff, folks. You're in for a treat. Hold on to your hats. This is it's going to get a little weird, probably. This is some really crazy artwork, and two who I consider to be genius creators together in one great package. So hang on. We're going to run the opening, and then we'll get right to it. Here we go. That's right. Sunday Funnies for the 22nd of September 2024. Holy crap. This month is gone by.
Soon be Christmas.
Fast. Soon be Christmas. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can catch the majority of my work over at aerocomics.store. I write, I draw. The latest thing that we've got over there is The Shadow Kingdom, which is a Robert E. Howard public domain story called The Shadow Kingdom, featuring Cull and Brule, that is in public domain, that I had adapted for Russ Leach, the great Russ Leach, to go through and do the artwork for. Glenn here did the logo, Shadow Kingdom, beautifully. And it's a foundation for a lot of other material that we're planning right now called the Atlantean, which are going to follow the adventures from these characters in this story onto other adventures and other fun times. The campaign for that, it will be starting very soon at the end of, I believe, within the next week or so. Russ is finishing up the artwork on this now. And as soon as it's done, we'll start that campaign rolling, the Atlantean #1. If you want more information on that, go over to russleach.com and sign up for his mailing list. He doesn't bombard you with a lot of incidental emails, maybe one a month, maybe one a week when we're on a campaign. But go over there and join that list and be informed, and hope you get a chance to get in on it, because Shadow Kingdom's just the first step. The artwork that Russ is doing now is just incredible, and it's meant for black and white. It'll be a black, almost like a Savage Sword of Conan when it comes out. I can't wait for you to see it. I'm very proud of the story that Russ is working on, and we had to kind of step off that Robert E. Howard cliff and see where it takes us. So that's where it went. It took a little while for me to get past the intimidation to get the script done, but it's done, and can't wait for you to read it. Real proud of it. Other than that, there's other properties over there: HeroBot Zero, Calico Shard, Paragon, superhero stuff, fantasy stuff. I love writing. I love this art form, and love doing all sorts of different things in it. So go over to aerocomics.store and take a look. Be on the lookout over at fundmycomic.com for the Atlantean #1 campaign coming here within days. So also joining me this morning is Mr. Glenn Fleming. He has a book over at fundmycomic.com as well that he'll tell you about. And Glenn, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I've spent 40 years in graphics, doing lots and lots of different kinds of stuff. I've authored 12 books, different subjects, science fiction, JFK assassination, cartoon book, kids books, all kind of books. But relative to this show is my book about Jack Kirby. I went to see him a couple of times at his house in California, and I wrote a book around it. And this book has got lots of photographs of me with him and with his gorgeous wife, Roz. And you can get that on Amazon or from New Haven Publishing. As Randy alluded to, on Fun My Comic, I have this annotated book of my character Hatch, which tells the story of his creation. It's got lots of published and unpublished artwork in it for you to look at. That's on Fun My Comic. I also publish Comics Unlimited, which is a 100-page magazine about comics in which we interview creators, and there's lots of artwork and articles in that. So that's on Amazon too. Issue 16 should be on its way soon, so check it out.
Great. Just looking here on Amazon to see what was up. Oh, there are multiple volumes. All right. I don't see the one that I have.
Yeah,
anyway,
you'll find all my stuff on Amazon, or most of it. You can also get a copy of that if you want. Another book I compiled with lots of articles and artwork by different people. That's on Amazon too. Variations on a theme. Jack Kirby.
Yep. Nemesis the Warlock, folks. Pat Mills, Kevin O'Neill. Before they did Martial Law, if you're familiar with that property, most of you aren't. Also a great, great property. I'm trying to get this set right here.
Yeah, Nemesis is another anti-hero, isn't he? Pat Mills is favorite stance is the anti-hero.
Well, this sprung out of a series that they were running called ABC Warriors. They took of elements from that and did a couple of short stories that the fans loved, and so they went a little farther with it, and then they came up with Nemesis. Yeah,
our British followers and watchers will remember, if they're of an age, will remember comics like Buster and Whizzer and Chips, and Kevin began working for those publications when he was only 16. So he's got a good background. He unfortunately died a couple of years ago now, but he did a lot of work. And as you'll see, it's really odd, but really good.
I meant to look him up on Wikipedia earlier because he was notorious here in the States.
Well, he left this series to go to America because of the basically the money, the page rate was a lot higher. So guy's got to eat, hasn't he? Because there were 10 books of this in all, and I think he only worked on 4. You got Jesus Redondo. Jesus Redondo did 1 book, and Brian Talbot, John Hicklenton, David Roach. Some great artists on there. But I think he created this with Pat Mills into this character.
Yeah. August 22nd, 1953 to November 3rd, 2022. It's an English comic book illustrator who was the co-creator of Nemesis the Warlock, Martial Law with writer Pat Mills, and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with Alan Moore, which everybody might actually recognize his style from. So began his career with publishing company IPC at the age of 16 as an office boy for Buster, which was a children's humor title. In 72, he published 2 issues of the fanzine World of Comics. In 75, he started publishing as a personal side project, the fanzine Just Imagine. Not the same Just Imagine that was over here in the States. The Journal of Film and Television Special Effects, which lasted 5 regular issues and 1 special issue through 1978. By 76, he was working as a colorist on Disney comics, reprints of British children's comics such as Monster Fun and Whizzer and Chips. Yep, tired of working on kids' humor titles, he heard a new science fiction title was being put together at IPC and went to see Pat Mills, asked to be transferred to the new comic, which was to be called 2000 AD. Had him do art, several pinups, including the image of Tharg on the cover of the first issue of 2000 AD. Bodging, it looks like bodging, and introducing creator credits. After a period of being nurtured by Mills.
That's where he got the idea from, because Pat Mills was torturing him.
He eventually started branching out and drawing short Tharg the Mighty strips, Future Shocks, various humor and short stories. However, it was not until he started work on Rollbusters with Pat Mills as writer in 2000 AD, issue 88, that O'Neill started work on the first major ongoing strip for that title. O'Neill's quirky and unusual work on Rollbusters proved popular and helped establish him as a major 2000 AD creator, as well as establishing what would become a long series of collaborations with writer Pat Mills. Did the one-off Terror Tube, which we'll look at here in a second, in issue 167. It's said to inspired by the song Going Underground by The Jam. However, the story was a reaction against IPC objecting to a long chase sequence in Rollbusters. So the pair created a 6-page story which consisted entirely of an extended chase sequence between the hordes of villainous Torquemada and a mysterious character called Nemesis. The story proved popular, and the pair followed Terror Tube with a 2-part story featuring Nemesis called Killer Watt, which we'll also look at here in a second. This proved to be even more popular, and by now, O'Neill's grotesque style was winning over more and more fans who also wanted to see more of Nemesis. In issue 222, they would get their wish with the first book of an ongoing Nemesis the Warlock series. The strip would eventually rival Judge Dredd in terms of popularity. But O'Neill's art would get him into trouble with IPC censors, who considered his work too violent and disturbing. However, O'Neill was one of 2000 AD's most popular artists and would not only continue working on Nemesis the Warlock, but also provide art for ABC Warriors and even Judge Dredd. It was with Nemesis the Warlock that O'Neill would spend most of his time working on for much of the 80s, but O'Neill was suffering from financial difficulties and decided to take offers of work from DC Comics. This meant stopping work on Nemesis and becoming freelance, although he would return for the occasional one-off episode of Nemesis and provide other work for 2000 AD. The story Shock, created by Steve McManus, the Judge Dredd annual in 1981, was involved in controversy when it was realized it was the basis of Richard Stanley's 1990 film Hardware. Only after a court case, which Stanley lost, were the two given writing credits on the film. Hardware is now considered the first 2000 AD story to be adapted into film. There, O'Neill did several fill-in issues, short stories on titles such as The Omega Men, and his first major work at DC was a story written by Alan Moore for the Tales of the Green Lantern Corps Annual number 2. The Comic Code Authority objected to O'Neill's art. When DC asked what was wrong with it, if anything could be changed, the story featured scenes of a crucifixion. To get approval, the authority replied that it was O'Neill's entire style that they found objectionable. DC pointed out that his art had been passed previously, but the authority stuck by their decision, which was a big problem with the Comic Code Authority at this point, where they weren't reversing, or they were being hypocritical on a lot of their choices and a lot of their rulings. DC decided to print the comic without the Code Authority stamp. The short story has established continuity points in the DC universe which the 2009 storyline Blackest Night was based. 86 also saw the release of the graphic novel Metalzoic by the team of Mills and O'Neill. It's highly acclaimed and one of the first creator-owned stories published by DC. The story was reprinted in 2000 AD later that same year. Then he went on to Martial Law, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. After that, he did quite a body of work for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And March 2001 podcast, O'Neill revealed that he had completed 8 pages for Alan Moore's Moon and the Serpent Bumper Book of Magic for Top Shelf, as well as cover illustration and design work for the Cinema Partagorio collected edition, whatever that meant. And then he ended up passing of cancer in London in November of 22. No information was made public about his survivors. So
he was only 69, wasn't
he? Yeah. Had an incredibly long list of credits, both here and in Britain. So Kevin O'Neill, quite the talent. Now, I'm going to kind of dox myself because I've had this book for so long. I actually wrote my address on the inside front cover. But it's not anything that we don't print already in every issue of Arrow Comics. So it's just, I'm still here, folks. I'm still here. Anyway. There we are. Look at this. Look at this great stuff. I believe this is dual shade board back here.
Yeah, it looks very nice, doesn't it? Yeah.
Real thin lines. Very beautiful work. We're looking at the Titan reprint book collection of this that was printed back in 1981. Folks,
yeah, the series started in 1980, didn't it?
Yeah.
Just as a reference. And then this is a reprint from 81, yeah.
So this is 44
years old.
44 years old, this material.
Wow.
Just as fresh and vital as any of today's work, I'll tell you. Hello, gentlemen. Dave's in the house.
Dave, how you doing?
Genuine Comics. Nice to have you aboard, Dave. Here we go. Looking this book over just a few minutes ago, I was thinking, I don't know if the intricate line work is going to be picked up by the camera very well. This is all.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, it's okay.
This is all just beautiful, small line work in here. The little details. Anything you think is a gray tone on this is all lines, except for the around the word N here in Nemesis. That's a Zipatone screen. But everything else is all line work here. Just beautiful, beautiful work.
Is it brush or a pen, do you think, or both?
If it's a brush, it's got to be a mighty small one. But wow. I think a lot of it's a combination of both. I think he worked in the way it looks. He worked on both. Genuine says, I never heard of this book before. Really, Dave? Did you see any of the early 2000 ADs? This is from like the late
1980.
The late 100s, the late 100 progs. The 2022 is the main. It's the first Nemesis story, or 222. Says that is a crazy character design. Yes, it is. All of it is crazy. That's why his style, I guess, was judged to be too risque for comics. I didn't know that he had that trouble over there with it. I know he got into trouble with the Code Authority because of his style in general, which at the time I thought was completely ridiculous. I still think it's completely ridiculous. But that's the code.
Is that Kenny Everett there?
Where?
Do you know Kenny Everett?
Here?
In the center, yeah. It's like, you know,
might
Kenny
be
Everett,
though.
You know Kenny Everett?
No.
Kenny Everett was a DJ, TV, sort of comedian type person. Really funny. I think that's him.
Yeah. Let's see a little bit of zip screen on this just to drop some stuff back. Yeah.
Right.
He is an announcer, so it's probably a parody of him.
Yes, I think it is. Yeah, because he would be big at that time. He's dead too, but he would be big at that time. Lots of panels. Sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Lots of panels.
Lots of panels.
Unusual for lots of panels on these pages.
Yeah. It's very tight, short stories here for a couple of episodes, and then it stretches out quite a bit. In the introduction, they mentioned that the story really caught on because it was a chase sequence, like the Wikipedia entry said. But O'Neill was trying to figure out what Nemesis looked like, and he couldn't figure out. He had his body basically down, couldn't figure out what to use for a face. So Mills suggested that he use his ship as a example.
Right.
So he used the ship design, which came first, for the design of Nemesis's head.
Right. So is that his head and not a helmet?
Yeah, it's his head.
Right. That panel, that center panel with the circle with the guy. That one. It looks like a cross between Doctor Doom and Ian Gibson artwork.
Yeah. He's the Terminators. They're chasing down a bunch of criminals in the Terror 2, or a bunch of rogue hot rodders. Like the little sleds.
Yeah.
Reminiscent of Kirby's Dark Rider. They're skiing through the sky.
Fantastic, yeah.
It's crazy stuff.
Are those duotones on that fourth panel on the spaceships?
Yeah, back here it is. Back here is a graduated Zipatone screen. Over here as well. All of the gray tones here. I'm sure he put those in to break things up, push things forward.
Yeah. Do you know? I really wish he'd done it in a wash.
I don't know if they would have picked up a wash. I can't remember any of the early 2000s like this using a wash.
Yeah,
I think they were always real solid, just like the old 70s underground comics.
But don't forget, I know what you're saying about the wash and not being able to pick it up. But you imagine, you know what it's like. You can get that moire effect, can't you, with the screen and the duotone.
If you're not careful, yeah.
If you're not careful, that's what I'm saying. But
we see a little bit. I see a little bit of that in the camera on this.
Yes,
it's almost a moire to it, and this is a solid tone here. But yeah, it's crazy what the camera will and won't pick up. But back during this time, this is late 70s, right? 78, 79. This is over here in the States. The undergrounds are just the alternative undergrounds are just picking up. There's a whole lot of use of gray Zipatone screens and patterns. And sometimes they make the moire patterns on purpose, especially if there's like a mystical background to it. They do that on purpose just to make things look off center or otherworldly.
Do you know these stories like with Judge Dredd, and you know there's a dark humor beneath them all that they're all resting on, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Really good stuff.
Very subversive material.
Yeah, I could see why it would get in trouble.
Yeah,
but it doesn't bother me because
It never, like I said before, it never hit me that they were that subversive. I just thought they were great stories.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't need somebody to make up my mind for me. I think I can see.
Yeah,
what's going on.
But what a great way to stick it to the guys upstairs complaining that you had a chase sequence that went on too long in your comic, and do an entire story of nothing but a chase sequence. Here, take that.
Yeah,
we're gonna add to our discussion now with Mitch. Mitch, how you doing?
Mitch.
Hello,
Mitch,
how's it going?
Glad to see you here.
Well, I had to make it for Nemesis the Warlock. You know, it's my favorite 2000 AD book.
I did not know, but that's good to know. It's good to hear. They said at one time he even rivaled Judge Dredd in popularity.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Wow.
We're looking at the 1981 Titan reprint collection of the first book of Nemesis, all with Kevin O'Neill artwork in it. This is an early short story that kind of laid the groundwork for it. Killer Watt. It's a two-parter.
I think they just pulled him up on things because they'd never seen anything like this before, and they thought there must be something, they just didn't appreciate what he was doing.
Well, I
Trying to
think
get
that's
it
the whole
banned and
point.
whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, we can say it. Pat Mills is always trying to push the boundaries, and good luck to him. I think he's great, and obviously Kevin's doing the same with this artwork.
Never saw it as controversial, though. I always saw it as cool.
Yeah, I wonder if that's one of the reasons why he got this actual gig, because Pat thought his artwork would fit so well. He just didn't give it to him to draw. He must have been, must have seen what he could do with it.
Well, it's like a collaborative effort, especially back then, because everybody shared rights,
Yeah.
So you got your best work here. So Pizza 33 in the house. Hello, Pizza 33. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. No Russ this morning. He's off on a boat somewhere. Hopefully not a slow boat, but he should be back next week. We'll see. And Scott Rosema, who knows where he is? Out hunting bear somewhere, probably.
He's probably out hunting bear, meaning naked.
No clothes. You never know with Scott. Yep.
Hey, that's how I hunt.
Did you ever see these early short stories? You probably picked up one of the collections, Mitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very different from Ed O'Neill's like later stuff. It's more, for lack of a better phrase, cartoony. When his later stuff, especially when you get to like when 2000 AD really started to kick off, and then his League of Extraordinary Gentlemen stuff, where it's very stylized and stuff. It's it's very different. Which, I mean, every artist starts off one way and ends up another.
Mm-hmm.
I got the most recent like phone book size collection. I forgot who put it out, but I think these are in there also. I believe. I could be wrong.
That would have been kicked out by Rebellion. Yeah, I've got a very large collection of this. I don't know how much.
It's got the kind of like neon green cover.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I first picked it up with the reprints where they added color to it. Who did those? It was
Sal Q and Eagle Comics back in the 80s.
I think they put out the same. Because I think they also put out the Judge Dredd comics also.
Yeah, that was Sal Q and later Eagle Comics.
Now everything went silent.
Can you hear us now?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear us? We can hear you. You all right?
Eagle's the one. Yeah. Eagle was the one I was. Yes. Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, you're on a delay then. Probably 10-second, 15-second delay.
Where is he, on Mars?
Could be.
Oh.
You keep cutting out.
Yeah, you keep cutting out, Mitch. Are you there? You must be on a hard delay.
Let me go out and go back in.
All right, man. We're here. We'll be here. And this is a graduated zip screen here.
All right.
That fades in and out, in and out. Yeah. Used to get them all on one gigantic sheet.
Yeah, I still got some.
Yeah.
It's 40 years old. I don't know whether it'll work.
Probably not.
It's probably welded to the paper it's sitting on,
Yeah.
I bought a sheet of it. It was one of those I'm going to use that on a story, and I never actually produced a story, so I didn't use the. It cost me a fortune.
It was cheaper by the case. So
yeah.
We had an architectural supply store around here that we just buy cases at once. You know, the 20 and 40 grade, and then whatever oddball pattern that they might have. They had this in lines. They had it in circles. And cut them out and paste them in as we needed them. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep moving. I'm pretty sure that was Mitch's internet that was causing trouble.
Yeah, just keep moving on.
Moving along, folks. Here we go. Next chapter, second chapter, Killer Watt. Just crazy detail here. Just love it.
He does great designs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Really,
incredible
really
stuff.
Good designs.
Really hope he was having fun, because Nemesis really looks like he's having fun. Oh, earthquake.
Do you know, I really, really envy Pat Mills and Stan Lee, because I know they were, well, we won't go into the story thing, but Pat's certainly writing these, and he'd get this batch of artwork coming in, wouldn't he? He'd see it.
Yeah.
You know, without the lettering on, because this lettering stuck on in 2000 AD.
Okay.
And I hope there are copies without the lettering on to preserve.
Mitch, are you with us? Are you there, Mitch? Okay, we're just going to keep moving. More zip screen here. Mitch, if you're talking, we can't hear you. I will return. Torquemada.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you hear us?
Okay. Yes.
You're still on a delay.
I don't know if it's my internet,
yeah, I'm pretty,
or the connection or what.
Pretty sure it's on your end, and you're delayed, and you're also fading in and out. Next, we kick over to Prague number 222. This is the start of the Nemesis series here. Look at that great work. Just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, very odd designs, but
yeah,
wonderful to look at. Great, great logo, isn't it? That?
Yeah.
Steve Potter.
Yep. Crazy.
That's great. Wow.
Ah. Look at that. Mitch has dropped out again. I'm not sure if he's coming back this time.
That right-hand page, middle second panel, the guy with the helmet on looks a bit like a Carlos Esquera's drawing, doesn't it? That face.
Where are we looking? Here?
Up, second panel on that page.
Right
the guy
here?
with that one, yeah. Looks like a Carlos Esquera chin on Dread. Imagine.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Great stuff, though.
Yes.
I'm hoping you're seeing all of this little detail here.
Yeah,
this is all line work here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Just beautiful work.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So the basic story is Torquemada here is actually the villain. Nemesis is kind of an anti-hero. Torquemada is dedicated to ridding the galaxy of all impure species, which is anything that's not his. So,
yeah. Look at that horse there on the first page, in the middle. Yeah, look at that. Really strange. Really stretching his neck.
Yeah. He's got real skinny legs too.
Yeah.
You really have to look to see that on top of this huge space battle here.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Fancy using axes in space.
Yeah.
Very
chopping 'em up.
strange.
This guy here doesn't have a leg.
Bit of a Spock character going on with that girl.
Yeah, it is. I like the shading here on this.
This, as far as I know, has never been coloured, and I think it shouldn't be.
I think they did. Mitch was talking about how they went through and did a colorized version of it once. Sal Q Publishing went through and took a lot of the 2000 AD stuff and just massacred it, put color on it and stretched it to American comic book size, and just did a lot of really terrible things with it. And with Nemesis, with the craziness of it and the way the characters are so alien looking, it'd be hard to tell that it wasn't stretched.
Yeah.
You know, except for through the lettering. But it was just, when I saw it, it was just sad to see and very insulting, because I knew how great the stories were and how good the artwork looked originally.
Right. Mitch says he's restarting his computer.
Excellent. Just purely a travesty for them to do what they did to this material.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, people like to mess, don't they?
Yeah.
Just leave it. Just leave it alone.
I looked for the first volume of Nemesis on Amazon, the first large collection, and somebody's offering it for $137.
Say that again.
No, I'm sorry, $172.
For what?
The first volume 1 of the complete Nemesis the Warlock.
Wow.
It's a paperback printed in 2010.
Oh, right. Wow.
Somebody will sell it used for $172.
Great.
Yeah. I think that's the only listing I'm seeing on it. I keep looking. A lot of the Eagle comics, shall we say, bastardizations are available in the little floppy comics for $3, $3.95 a piece. People looking to sell crap for crap prices. Yeah, a lot of that stuff here, but that's the only English, one of the Titan reprint books, it looks like here. Book 8. They have listed, but not for sale.
Bizarre. He's turned into Nick Fury now.
Yeah, so why they haven't reprinted this again more recently is beyond me. Rebellion should have a reprint volume of this available. At least. This is something that should always be in stock, in my opinion. Should always be in print. It's Complete Nemesis, Volume 2, Books 5 through 7. Again, unknown. No price on it on Amazon. I'll have to look on eBay and see what they're selling it there. I bought mine from Amazon, but it was years ago.
Do you know?
I think a good collection of it. Go ahead.
I think Kevin would have been a good artist on something like Doctor Strange, you know, with these designs.
Definitely would have been, yeah.
You know, it would have been really, really good, that.
Yeah.
Did Doctor Strange ever have his own book?
Oh yeah, number of times. But it was the kind of thing that they couldn't keep rolling for very long. They kept trying and playing around with him and just doing crazy, nutty things. Complete Nemesis Book 1 on eBay for $22.44. Book 2, somebody's got it for sale for $11.99 used. Book 3 for $15.99 used. Here's a Volume 1 paperback that's not listed. Let's see if anybody's bid it. There's not a buy it now price on it. Nope, that's the same Amazon listing I was looking at earlier. Listed on eBay. That's weird. Volume 1 paperback. Let's see where that takes us. Again, back to Amazon. Weird. I didn't know Amazon was jumping in on eBay. Let me see here.
You probably own it.
Oh, they kicked me right over to Amazon's what it did. All right, I was looking at the wrong place. Let's try this again. That's what I get for going to eBay through Google. There we are. No wonder I was hitting Amazon listings. That's where Google sent me, was Amazon. Let's see what we have here. Complete series, Power of Warlock. Nope, that's not it. Nope. Anyway, let me turn the page here. This is Nemesis. The first time anybody saw what he looked like.
He's a bit like Alien, isn't he?
Alien and a horse. Yeah.
Yeah. Or a devil.
Someone's offering this volume that we're looking at. No, book 2. I'm sorry. This says book 2 from a best of 2000 for $22.16.
Wow.
Up on eBay. Let me see if I can find a book 1. I'm not seeing it. A lot of the Eagle reprint comics are up here. The English collections, $25, $43 for the. Is that the first one? That's what it looks like. $43.05 up on eBay. You can't find them on Amazon. Volume 3, books 8 to 10 for $26.55 current bid. Gonna have to go over to eBay if you want to find this stuff, unless somebody Rebellion or IDW gets smart and does a reprint volume on it. Let me check with Mitch again, see if he's here. Mitch, are you there? Mitch, are you there? CX12 calling CQ.
I'm here. Am I on a delay again?
You are.
Damn it. Okay.
It's probably your internet.
Ugh.
So it's got you on a slow boat here through StreamYard.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. You're not as delayed as you were before, though, so you can keep watching, just cut in. You know, stay on the line. You find something that you want to comment on, just do it. All right?
I will. I always do.
Okay. You're about 20 seconds behind is all. No big deal. Anyway, this is the first time we got to see Nemesis right there in the story or in the series. Look at that. Man.
Are you pure? Wow.
Would have loved to have seen O'Neill on a lot of the Marvel material. Would have been real interesting to see.
I think he could have done a good Spider-Man as well, I think.
Yeah.
Considering how he went away from that John Romita style, you know, the nice style. You understand? Can't be a coincidence, though. Two characters I've mentioned there, both Steve Ditko and his kind of style. I think Kevin would have been good on Doctor Strange in this style. Certainly. Just for the weirdness of it, you know.
Oof. There's 2 pages of greatness right there. Let's look at that ship design.
Yeah, it's certainly a unique style he's got.
Yeah. It's crazy that people would find somebody's entire style, to be too disturbing.
Yeah. All it is that they don't like it. That's all it is, and they've got the power.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I have to say it's not my favorite, but it's good.
It's just incredible. But I lean towards the individualist anyway. Somebody who's got a look that you can look at his work and know his or her work and know automatically who it is.
Yeah.
You know, O'Neill's definitely one of those people. Go ahead, Mitch.
I was just saying, I'm the same way. You know, when it comes to art, my favorite artists are, you know, people you can look at them, like you said, and know, oh, that's this person, that's that person.
Yeah. We mentioned this before that that's what's missing now, because if you look at Kirby and Steve Ditko and all the greats, they all have this style, and if you're lucky enough, like Randy and I are, you can tell who's inked Kirby's work as well, but it still shines through. And that was one of the main things that appealed to me with 2000 AD was the different arrays of style, like this against Brian Ball and against Cam Kennedy, totally different styles, and then they all end up drawing Judge Dredd, and it didn't take anything away from the character. And Ian Gibson, such different styles.
Judge Dredd's one of those characters that really can work in any art style. He's kind of like, the characters over here in America, Batman, Superman, Captain America, and all them, where they can, the artist can change styles as much as, or you can put as many artists on the book as possible. And most of the time it works because the characters are just so easily adaptable to various art styles.
Right. Yeah. It's a little negative space working here. Nice, solid. Just to drive it home.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
It's great stuff.
You see,
this is
also,
go ahead. Go ahead.
They were saying about it was too violent and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's not actually showing anything, is he?
No.
It's like we said before about the shower scene in Psycho. You never see that knife go in; it's all in your head, and that's the point of doing it. Whereas today, all sorts, you see it, so it's just too graphic.
Right? Yeah. Oh,
you don't need to see it.
Yeah.
Your mind will do it. Just suggest it.
Drop Torquemada back here with the use of a white dot zip-tone screen. Turns it into gray, drops it back.
I like the way that his hand has gone into the black on that right-hand page with the axe.
Yeah.
Really nice lighting effect. He's not a very nice person, this guy, is he?
No.
Well, really, no one in Nemesis is a nice guy. Even the heroes are kind of morally corrupt in some way.
Wow, come on.
Look at that. Look at that. Just crazy stuff. And again, this is all thin line work here.
Yeah.
It's all intricate detail up in here. This guy connected. Crony face. His crazy ears. Maybe a little bit of H.R. Geiger in here.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of the characters have that kind of biomechanoid feel to them.
Yeah. And really, this is a touchstone, almost transitional work that we're looking at here, because O'Neill goes on to do a lot of other things, and the research that Pat Mills did on this series went on as the basis of Slain and a lot of the other work that he did after this. So this is really a key, I think it's a very key piece of work in that era of sequential art. Definitely a trendsetter in a lot of ways.
It's just so unique, and it shows.
Yeah.
It's just great. I'm just trying to get made around somebody being offended by it. I don't get it.
Be interesting to see him do a couple of adaptions from. It would have been interesting to see him do a couple of Clive Barker adaptions. He'd be great on Pinhead. I wonder if he ever did any Hellraiser stories.
I think he did for Epic.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I believe Yeah, I believe he did for Epic.
Style totally
Epic.
lends itself to it. Yeah. It's crazy. Shaped like a dragon. Be pure, be vigilant, behave.
That drawing to me is crying out for more blacks on that spaceship thing.
On here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a few stars somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the street. So,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's kind of a sled.
Yeah.
Dragon sled. To say after Torquemada vanished.
Look at that guy at the bottom there. He's telling him to rejoice. He's got his sword in his nose.
This guy here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Rejoice. Hail, Torquemada. Yeah.
Nice lettering too by Steve Potter.
Yeah. Again, this is almost like looking at how we remarked on Friday with Charlie's War. Every time you turn the page, there's something new. There's just something crazy good.
Yeah.
In this. Just beautiful stuff. Again, the ship here.
He's just a great designer, I think.
Yeah. It's absolutely incredible work. Just a little hint of stars here in the black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great head. There.
It's such a bizarre design. It's just more machine than man, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
And flesh and blood. And then he goes to the cartoony guy character face just above that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Robot Smith. Yeah, I was reading in the introduction that they were going to link this with ABC Warriors and have the main villain be Gridlock or Dreadlock, one of the characters from ABC Warriors. And they decided to remove it from there and make it its own continuity.
Well,
yeah, I'm actually glad they did because ABC Warriors is too much of a departure in tone from Nemesis.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Another crazy property we'll have to look at real soon. A little bit of zip screen here, just enough to drop, keep it, keep the gray tones in to keep the detail running.
Look at that. Look at his legs. His legs are real devil legs, aren't they?
Jack legs, yeah.
Fantastic. His Captain America boots on.
Very crazy design.
Well, Nemesis himself is modeled after like medieval drawings of demons.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's where Torquemada comes from, isn't it? Medieval stuff.
Special guest appearance by Mr. Alan Moore, ladies and gentlemen.
Is Torquemada from the Spanish Inquisition and all that kind of stuff?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like I have to read it again, but I can't remember if it's like a resurrect where he's Torquemada resurrected, or if it's like the same Torquemada throughout history, causing all these bad things to happen.
Definitely same attitude. Yeah. So a little bit of zip here, but all of this intricate detail on the cityscape here. It's beautiful. That is Alan Moore, by the way. No. She does look
Yeah.
like it. Just gets crazier and crazier.
Oh, no. Look at this. Hanging in.
It's hanging him. They're really tight.
Hanging in by a chain.
Yeah.
Wow. Shop. He's cut his hand off. Oh dear.
Crazy
Yeah.
pattern here. It's like hair. There on his chest.
And the lightning firing because he's up there.
Yeah. It's a great look. Mm. And don't forget when we read that Wikipedia, he got tired of drawing kid stories.
Yeah. So he went totally the other way.
Yeah. Would enjoy seeing some of his kid literature.
Yeah. I've probably seen it in those comics, but they didn't give credits. And I'd only be 13 or 14 anyway, so.
Yeah.
But I do remember Buster and Whizzer and Chips. Is that a dry brush in the bottom right panel now?
Here, yeah.
Very nice, that.
If he didn't use a sponge, he probably wasted a brush.
Yeah.
On this one panel. Just
yeah.
Dab, dab, dab.
Yeah, sometimes when I do stuff like that, I just use an old brush that's beyond its prime and just cut the bristles down about halfway, and it kind of creates a feathery texture, and just kind of
dab, dab, dab.
Just kind of press it. Yeah.
It's back when everybody used real ink.
Yeah.
It's with some of the best ways. Here again too. That's a combination of crosshatch and dry ink or dry brush. Look at that.
Randy, just put me on the screen, please.
All right. Go ahead.
This is what you need, folks. Lots of sponges to get that.
There you are.
Yep.
Get that fantastic effect. Just dip it in your ink and away you go.
Yeah. Cool. A bit more zip here. Mitch, you said you saw this originally in color the first time you saw it?
Yeah, it was the Epic reprints.
Okay.
I think I found them in a used bookstore because a lot of them would have like boxes of comics, and being a comic kid, I'd always go under those first. And the cover kind of struck me. It was this monster. It's like that looked like it was a combination of skin and machinery. I was like, "Oh, this looks cool," and
yeah,
picked it up, read it, and my 12, 13-year-old self never looked back. Then I found out that it was from the same company that did Judge Dredd. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
I'd like to see Pat Mills' scripts for this to see how much description was in there.
Yeah, same here.
If any. That'd be interesting to see. Not to take anything away from anybody, but just to see what was in Pat's mind, because I can't imagine he didn't give him a few pointers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen. I don't know if y'all seen Alan Moore's scripts for books, but my God,
yeah. Well, if you get the Watchmen, Dave Gibbons' Watchmen book, he reprints them, and the single space typing, and it's 2 pages for one panel.
Yeah, it's insane.
They're full books.
That to me shows how good Dave Gibbons was on Watchmen. Because if you look at the scripts, there's nothing really left for him to think of. Dave Gibbons think to draw, but he does it so well, and he still puts other stuff in.
Yeah,
really clever. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is
incredible.
Crazy. Beautiful stuff. This is an eye here.
Necropolis.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
This is just like well, not just like, but it fits right in with a lot of the 70s underground alternative comic stuff.
Yeah.
That on the last panel on the right-hand page looks like Mrs. Munster, doesn't it?
It does. It's the white in her hair.
And Dr. Doom.
Yeah. Another character O'Neill would have been great at. That could have been his signature character, Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a series of Doom drawn like that. Oof.
That's a nostril, isn't it?
Yeah. Bit of Basil Wolverton mutation working here.
Yeah. Look at the detail on that hand.
Yeah. It's all lined. All up in here. Beautiful work.
And he has that kind of chickstone thicker holding line, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Making it, come out of from the background. It's very swastikas on that design there.
Yeah, French crosses.
Yeah.
Right. More than swastikas. I don't think they would have gone that direct with the symbolism.
Oh no, I know they're not. And it just when I first saw it, that's what I saw.
A little, almost male symbol here. Cross.
Is that Moire effect on there, or is it just my screen?
It's just the camera. Here, right. You've got a great Zipatone screen back here.
Right. I mean, putting that as you'll know, Randy, putting that Zipatone over that drawing is a very skillful thing to do, because you've got to cut it out.
Yeah.
And you don't want a line across the middle. You've got to put the whole thing over the thing.
You have to make sure you have a strong enough board and strong enough ink
Yeah.
to soak into that board in order to lay all of this out too and do it correctly, or you end up with a mess, just a major mess.
You don't want to pull your artwork up with it.
Yeah, no. That's a very tight screen, though. That would not have been an easy job.
No.
To do at all.
And cutting as well with I guess he's using a scalpel there. He's cutting. Got to be careful not to cut the line as well.
Yeah. It's easy to do. So we'll get a little bit more zip over here too. It's for the metallic look for his helmet here.
Yeah, nowadays you just do that with a computer.
Yeah. But you don't get the exact same look with it, though. You'll end up.
Yeah, true.
Or that wonderful chance to moray it out and make a large mistake. I've had that happen in the past.
Yeah.
You get it back from the printer and you go, oh man, that's not what that meant to look like. Here we are again. And Nemesis, I am the Warlock. The shape of things to come, the Lord of the Flies, holder of the sword sinister, the death bringer. I am the one who waits on the edge of your dreams. I am all these things and many more.
I am the one who knocks.
Yeah. Great shot here. Oh.
Wow.
That would have disturbed some folks.
Well, not in the same style, but he's getting into Bernie Wrightson detail, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is.
You know, the Frankenstein stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It must have taken him ages to do this. However fast he was, it must have taken him ages.
Look at that skull. Just great.
Not spider.
This little cartoon worm dude talking
exactly,
to him.
Yeah, he still comes back to the cartoony bit.
Mm-hmm. It's a graduated zip screen here.
Yeah.
A little bit of cutout for the lightning. This is all one screen back here. Again, that would be a nightmare cutting that out.
You've got to be very confident to do that.
Yeah.
Confident and competent.
Yeah, exactly. Another beautiful skull here, too.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's fantastic. It's just great in general.
I'd love to have seen his Dormammu. That would have been something to behold, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Said any of the Doctor Strange stuff would have been phenomenal by him. I could almost see Doctor Strange rendered by him too.
Yeah.
Very easily. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is like you say, Randy, about this medium that we love so much. We can see Doctor Strange drawn by Kevin, and I presume he never did. And yet we can see Ditko's, which is the best. And then they see people like Dan Adkins, who's a I don't know how to describe it, a gentle artist, but what a great artist he was. You know, like I said about the Judge Dredd getting different styles on it, and it still works. You know, if you read Dan Adkins' Doctor Strange, it's great. Or Marie Severin's fantastic. But this would work as well. This style would work as well.
Yeah. Indie Comics Network in the house. LMAO. I am the one who knocks. There goes my coffee. Nothing like a Breaking Bad reference this early in the morning.
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday.
What's he call that little worm guy? Grobbledonk.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, Grobbledonk.
Oh, I'm Grobbledonk. Yeah.
And I'm here to give you shit.
Oh. Is that what he says?
No, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
But like you say, that skull, that skull is amazing.
That's amazing. Holy crap. Look at this. Oh. Bet that's a couple days worth of work.
Yeah, he must have spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah.
There's no wonder he went to DC for the money. He's probably not making a lot of money on this.
No, he wasn't really making a lot of money at DC either, I'm sure, but probably more money than this. I don't know what their average page rates were here.
No idea.
Should probably read, like I said, Friday. I've got Pat Mills' autobiography. I should sit and read it and see what if he mentions anything about page rates.
Well, whatever it wasn't enough.
No, not for this.
This is amazing work. Got a skeleton in the center there, sitting at the table. Wow.
It's just as fresh now as it was 40 years ago, you know?
Yeah, and will be in 40 more. It's just,
sure it will.
It's just brilliant.
Use of negative space here. Know what to draw and draw the hell out of it. A chair and a back scratcher at once here. Oh, here's the cover.
Revenge of the Warlock.
Prague 230 from September of 1981.
Wow. Was that 43 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, to the day, just about. Wow.
Yeah. Just about. So this is beautiful line work here. The zip screen in the back, just to knock it back and bring the others, the important detail up to the front. A little bit of dry brush here in the smoke. It's all that detail. Just think of the parent whose kid came home with this comic. He's looking at it. What the heck is this? Big nose here. Yeah, there's your Ditko world right there. Universe.
Yeah. And then you've got Alien above it with that neck. That neck bone there.
Yep, so true. A lot of craziness. Oh, every time you turn the page.
Yeah.
Just knock yourself out here. It's another at least good day's work here.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
I would venture so, yeah.
Or at least a long day.
Yeah. You'd sit there and stare at that for quite a while. Man.
What did he do for DC? Was it Green Lantern, you said?
Yeah, he did some Green Lantern Corps stuff, worked with Moore on a couple of other things.
Yeah, I think his most famous thing with Moore was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, he had a good run on that, about 3 or 4 books, I would think.
So he only drew Green Lantern as like a mainstay character. He and Moore created all the others.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
Is that right? Yeah. Because the British artists that went over do seem to get an established character gig, like Dave Gibbons did Green Lantern and Superman, didn't they?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they seem to get their own stuff and excel. Not that the other work was bad.
Yeah. So Gibbons' first gig here in the States was Green Lantern.
Yeah. What was that comment? What was that comment? Is it that previous comment that you put up for a second there? Is that from
it's Indie Comics Network, says that attention to detail. I love this so much. Get so tired of anyone can make a comic. Yeah, sure. But just because they can doesn't mean it's good. This bleeds passion for your art, for your craft. Yeah. Sure does.
Is that from Nita or C?
It could be either one.
Right.
You're welcome in, whoever's out there from Indie Comics Network. Be happy to send you a link. You know how to get in. Says Nita. Nita, you're welcome. You're welcome to join us. Nita's up this early in the morning.
Yeah.
It's probably 8:20 in the morning there, maybe 9:20. She's probably corralling her kids.
It's 10:20 over here in South Carolina. So.
Well, you're still in Eastern.
That's right. Yeah.
Eastern time.
Yeah. I keep forgetting where it ends.
That's what it is here. Yeah. They're at least in Central, if not Mountain. So I may. Says nah. It's just nah. I have to get dressed. LOL. This is May 1 week. Always welcome. More the merrier.
Wow.
Another great day.
Look at that. Jeez.
It's knowing when to get super detailed and knowing when not to be,
Is that first page there, is it online work? There's that grey is not tint, is it?
This looks like duo shade
right
work here.
Okay.
In the background. I could be wrong on that, but probably not. It does. The gray tone here looks like duo shade. This looks like a zip screen here, but all of this is little line work detail here, probably done by a pen or a very thin brush. Just a gorgeous combination of all of that technique. That's got to be duo shade board with the way that's done. Either that or that was a nightmare zip-a-tone job. I don't think that would be possible. But this here, some of the graduated tone here looks like it could be. It's probably duo shade board.
Wow. That girl
the early Turtles books were done on duo shade, I believe.
Yeah, it was. Yep. Another material you can hardly find anymore, but they used it pretty extensively it was created for newspapers so that they had a texture board that they could easily apply for editorial cartoons. So it's used primarily for illustration and editorial cartoon work. And we explained what that was before. It's called duo shade board because there are two. It's a board with a light blue pattern chemically imprinted on the board. You got two different types of chemicals, both of which I understand are carcinogenic. So you don't see very many people use it anymore. But you go through and you paint it on like a brush. You use a lighter chemical, you get a lighter gray tone, or usually one set of lines. You use a harsher chemical, you get a double set of lines and a darker tone. And put you about 30%, maybe 60% graduated tone on that board when you look at it from a distance. Oh, man.
Wow. Nemesis. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, definitely dual shade there.
Are those hairs on his arms and his hands?
Oh, yeah. All line work. Yep. Or pedograph or pinpoint calligraphy pen brush, probably. This could be brushwork. Probably a combination of the two.
Yeah.
This is here too. Look at that. That's all thin lines.
Wow.
Expertly rendered.
Yeah.
Muse Mania. And here's a combination of lines. Dry brush work with a zip screen over top of it. Here. If this was solid black, all of this dual shade work would look like Kirby Crackle.
It would, yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I still think there's a hint of Ian Gibson in it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine he did that on purpose. It's just the way he draws. But it's certainly, especially with the shoes, the boots.
Looking at this really quick reminds me of the opening of My Three Sons. It's a TV situation comedy drama we used to have over here. You still see it every once in a while on the retro channels. It's got kind of an animated opening where they're all looking at everybody's feet. Squishing this little worm guy there. Yeah.
Oh no, he's all right.
It's just under his foot.
Yeah.
Got out.
He says, "Sigh, I get so lonely down here. I'll be your friend if you like. Sorry, you'll be dead tomorrow."
Wicked.
Look at that toe on that middle panel. Looks like it's dislocated it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh dear, I forgot to put a toe on it.
It's like a Don Martin or a Jack Davis.
Yeah.
Foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we just readjusted. Are we fuzzy?
No, it's fine.
Okay,
well, it's a bit fuzzy, but it's okay.
Make it refocus here. Of course, it might be is that better?
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at that. That's crazy.
again, it must be a great thrill for Pat Mills to get this artwork back and see his work visualized, you know,
Yeah.
so well by these people, you know.
Again, beautiful feathering work here on the black smoke.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yep.
Die Deviants. Certainly is crazy, this strip.
Down to a science right there. That
Yeah.
dual shape use. Yeah, just amazing. Crazy.
Be patient, be vigilant, behave. It's quite mad, this work. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it certainly doesn't offend me.
No.
I think Mitch said earlier, you could look at it for hours, couldn't you? Each panel.
Yeah.
Just looking into it and seeing what he's doing. I spent a lot of time on it.
Skeletal structure here. It's crazy amazing. What a mind. Getting it a little bit straightforward, a little more rigid in his layout, panel layouts here. Boom.
And then he does that. I think he does it on purpose. I think he does it on purpose.
Yep, I would venture to guess that was intentional.
Look at that. Look at the line thickness on that, on the guy on the, well, both of them. But look at the line thickness, that holding line on it. Look at his shoulders.
Here, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and on the other page as well. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not afraid to go thick. It's what a great. Again, can you imagine this was aimed at what, early teens, mid-teens?
Yeah.
Readers, what they running across this in 81. Just crazy. Nowadays, it's be a crazy video game.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know if they ever did a video game of Nemesis. Probably should have.
I wouldn't know.
Hey, there's still time.
Yeah. Let's look at that. It's another great cover. 21st of November, 1981. Nemesis versus Torquemada. Look at that face. Probably 239. Are they on 2,000 something today?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
It's a great 2-page spread.
See, he doesn't even do a rock like another rock, does he?
No.
How many pointed rocks like that have you seen?
Yeah.
Thomas de Torquemada. Oh yeah, named after the Spanish Inquisitor. Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah. It's a great shot here too.
But look how effective that next page with that rigid panel layout, like you say. Look how good that is. And the way that he's just like it looks like he's looking at his own story, doesn't he?
Yeah.
How good is that?
Just stripping.
To put the black between the panels, you know.
Right. Yeah. Grand Master of Termite. Classic 9-panel grid there.
Yeah.
Nearly silent. Oh, it's crazy stuff.
It's like a Marvel comic. It's just a slugfest, isn't it? This particular section.
Yeah.
It always used to make me laugh when, way back when Doctor Doom got the surface power, and he had a punch up with Ben. He could have just turned him to dust, and he just had a punch up with him.
Yeah.
That's Kirby. I think Kirby liked fighting when he was a kid, and you know what I mean.
That, and it fits into Doom's
Madness.
Yeah, mental state, wanting
Like
to do the physical.
Yeah, it's like his vanity, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Very much so. Fits his character real well.
Just before you turn, the other page, panel 4, center panel. That guy, is that a dry brush again on his cloak thing?
I would almost let me switch my glasses and take a closer look at it.
A sponge for that effect.
No, sorry, folks. I'm going to have to look at it closer under a light. That is, a little bit of dry brush, but this pattern here is a zip screen,
Right.
With over top of the dry brush technique. Yeah.
And that's a great stance with the guy with the shield. The shape of that stance.
Both of those pages are just amazing.
Yeah.
Again, 2 pages you can sit there and just stare at for quite a while at each panel. Critical Blast in the house. Good to see you here. He says, I need to find out who owns the rights to this. It's Rebellion. Rebellion owns the rights to this, and it's in desperate need of a reprinting.
Look at the lighting on the center panel as well. Done with the tone. Yeah. Brilliant.
I'd leave it square bound and in black and white, because I wouldn't try to throw color on this.
No.
At all. It just doesn't deserve color. Or not deserve, but it doesn't. Color would just kill it.
Look at that.
Both of those. Look at this.
Oh.
That's a Wally Wood look right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardcore. Beautiful stuff. And this is just amazing.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Hell's Harvest. Yeah.
Imagine that on your wall.
It's the Grim Reaper. The Hour of the Grim Reaper.
I love the way he's done the circle with the sickle and his cloak. Make your eye go around the drawing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Wow. I drew a Grim Reaper guy in Forest. Didn't look as good as that.
It's like the is that his cloak? Oh no, that's the hilt on his sword. Is that what that is? It looks like it's got teeth on it.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. Anybody out there, if they know that if Kevin O'Neill did any Hellraiser stories, let me know, and we'll dig those up and take a look at them. That's what that it screams to me. This is just beautiful here too. Keep looking at that. It really does look like a lot of Wallywood influence there. Nice and solid and just gorgeous. And then you get all of this little detail with the glass. Just great stuff. Ah,
Look at that. That's insane, isn't it? Look at that.
it is.
Behave. Die. See, even the lettering by Steve Potter's good, and it's like I said, it's even though it's stuck on, it's still hand drawn, you know.
Done. Mm-hmm.
And it works so well.
Yeah.
I keep going on about forever, but it's just I just hate the. I mean, I've done it myself. I just hate the computer lettering. It's too precise. It's like a CD against vinyl. You know, it's too precise.
Mm-hmm.
You need a bit of soul in there. You know.
Oh, lost track of time. This is just about getting to the end of the book, right at the end of our program, or right at the end of our time here.
Oh, that's good.
Just crazy stuff here. Look at that. More detail. Another great page.
Oh, he's got him, hasn't he? Next final battle.
Yes, I am your master now. Ah. Just look at that. That whole page is crazy.
Oh my
Just
god.
Detail overload here. Just crazy stuff. Look at that face. The figures in front. Look at that monster. Just insanity. Is that a mouth at the end of his arm?
Yeah. He's even got the bottom, the right hand page, the middle panel at the bottom, the way that Kirby, I don't know what you call it. Yeah, the coming down. You know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he draws. What's that thing in the New Gods? That power that Darkseid has. Anyway, it looks very Kirby the way he hasn't just done a curved.
Yeah. No, and he could have too, but he kept it in the panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it more effective. Is it the Omega effect that Kirby has in the New Gods?
Oh yeah.
And it's
the
all
little sled that Orion rides on.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just it's the way he draws that, like, you know what I mean. Whatever it is, I can't think of the word.
Yeah,
it's just great.
Mm. Mm.
Fabulous, isn't it?
Definitely crazy stuff.
Yep.
Just yeah. Indy says, "Good morning, Mr. Carter." Yeah.
Squee.
There's a squee there. Squee. Mm.
Look at that panel there where he's on that bridge holding him. Yeah, and that next one, the far one, yeah, that one. Isn't that fantastic?
And then the juxtaposition, the faces.
No.
Crawl, deviant. I will read. Oh man, look at that last page. It's a solid detail line work here.
Imagine if you'd done that all the way, all throughout.
Yeah.
It'd still be drawing it.
Probably.
Maybe not now, but he would have been drawing it for a long time.
It's just dynamic. It's fantastic look to it.
Wow. And you need a week to get over this, wouldn't you, once you've finished it?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is feathering here. It's all feathering here. They're done with a thin brush.
Yes.
This part here. Maybe with a little bit of white out over top of it to bring out the lightning.
Yep.
But just gorgeous, just brushwork here. Thin to thick. Down here, maybe with a little zip screen behind it. Just to knock it back a little. Beautifully done. Yes, zooming down and out. They must have had definite parameters because they were being printed on newsprint, right? They couldn't go past a certain area because it looks like the tip of that ship was cut off.
Yeah.
So it had to have. Go ahead.
Those 3 panels at the bottom must be the smallest panels ever drawn in a comic book.
These here, yeah.
Yeah.
Flying off. Yeah. The end of book 1, folks.
Well, that was a ride, wasn't it? Look at that.
Be pure. My Terminators are watching you.
That's a real mega city behind him, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Like a Mobius type of thing.
Yep.
Wow.
And again, just super thin line work contrasted with super thick outlines, solids. All of this is feathered using a brush. This is feathering here as well. A little bit of knockout there for the lettering. Just a little thin line work here. Beautiful stuff. Just a little zip tone down here along the bottom, just to bring that sword hilt out. A little bit here for the sheen on his helmet. A little bit here just to try to drop a little, equalize it, drop a little detail. All of this is all beautiful line work here. It's gorgeously done. Best of the best, folks. That's why we like looking at this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That brings us to the end of the book. And like I've said before, if you're at a show or out at a retailer looking through his graphic novels and you happen to see these Titan reprint books, see they got Titan books here on the spine, buy them. Because no matter what the subject matter is, you're getting quality material. And just a beautiful.
You will not regret it.
You will not regret it. No. So a number of these books out. Also, I'm sure there's a number of them still floating in the wild. And every last one of them is worth your time. And there's Modesty Blaze reprints. There's Garth reprints. Beautiful English material. So it's all originally serialized in 2000 AD, back in 1981. Or no. Yeah, 81. Nita says, thank you, guys. Great show. Thank you, Nita. Love looking at this stuff, folks. We absolutely do. That's why we do this, is to show off some of the best by the best. Great inspiration if you're doing any type of sequential artwork. There's always something to learn. from these old masters, whether it's brush control, pen control, use of screens, zip-tone, gray shades, even nowadays on Clip Studio or Photoshop to drop stuff back and pull things forward. And there's always something to learn. Great stuff. There's so much of this work, folks. We're never going to get to all of it. If there's something that you want to see us cover in future episodes, make sure you drop us a line and leave a suggestion. We will definitely take it under advisement. We show this stuff off because we love it. And this is some of our favorite work or stuff that really needs to be shown more often. Like we said earlier, this property hasn't been reprinted in a while and it desperately needs it. So Kevin O'Neill's work is phenomenal. If you want to see more of this kind of work, check out League of Extraordinary Gentlemen by O'Neill and Alan Moore, and Martial Law, if you can find it, also by Pat Mills and Kevin O'Neill. That material is very difficult. If you see it at a convention or anywhere, it's worth you picking it up. Also, very, very good fascist type material. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically Judge Dredd with superheroes.
Yeah. It's the easiest way to describe it. Mitch, tell folks how they can find you.
Well, you can find me at Linktree/Celtic Cross Studios, where you can find my webcomics, my socials, my online store, my website, everything else.
All right. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on Fridays and Sunday with Randy on these shows. You can find me on Amazon. You can find me at New Haven Publishing. You can go to Barnes and Noble, or you could just, best thing to do, put my name in Google and it'll come up with lots of things you can see of my work all over the place.
Make sure you check out Comics Unlimited as well over on Amazon.
Yeah, currently got Hatch up there. My
Great.
Second World War book is coming along. It's slow, but it's coming along. I'm not giving any details until I've almost finished.
Yeah.
But it's a fully painted. Sorry, it's a fully painted book.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It's a fully painted book, so it's taken a while.
Quality does take time. Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at aerocomics.store, where you can find works like Hero Bot Zero, which is a fun 3-foot-tall giant robot cartoon book that I really enjoy doing. There's a third issue in production. Calico Ashard over there with fantastic artwork by C. Michael Lanning. Also, there's more of that on the way in The Fool by myself and Chris Tyson's the urban vigilante who uses practical joke weapons to fight crime. And anybody he ties up for the cops, he takes a section of their clothing and incorporates it into his action suit. So he has the mutant power to sew. That's what he says. And go over there and take a look at aerocomics.store. If you go over to Amazon and look up my name, you can find that Shadow Kingdom book. You can find War of the Worlds Infestation. That's a 5-part, nice graphic, nice tight story graphic novel I wrote for Caliber back in the 80s or 90s. It's an updating of the War of the Worlds. The Martians drop cylinders again 100 years later, and this time we know who they are, and it turns into more of a war instead of a rout, like the original novel does. So go over there and check those out. If you can, go over there and look up the Shadow Kingdom as well. That's also available. There's few copies of this book, this version of this book available. And Critical Blast also does a number of different fantastic formats, criticalblast.com. You can also order editions of the Shadow Kingdom from a beautiful hardback book for under $40, and a couple of great versions in different sizes of this exact story. Not the same book, but the same story is in it. The same artwork for the main story is there. This book, this version has the backup prose story. It's got a number of pinups by Russ that you don't want to miss. So if you can get that version, get it. If you can't, definitely pick up one of the other ones. And that hardback book looks great on a shelf. So go over there and think about doing that as well. We are here every Friday morning at 5 a.m. Believe it or not, 5 a.m. We do Comics by Night. Whenever Mitch can get up, he's welcome to join us. Glenn's usually there. Russ is usually there. I'm usually there 5 a.m. on Fridays. We look over more great, fantastic stuff. And then we do Sunday Funnies here, where we look at the more esoteric material, the more unusual, maybe fringe formats and material here on Sunday Funnies, just to keep everybody interested and to show off how great sequential art is and what a wide variety of material you can find as well. So make sure you check back with us. Next week's programs will be pre-recorded, but they'll still be here and they'll still be great. And I can't wait to show you what we're going to do. If I knew what we were going to feature, I'd tell you about it. But we'll come up with something here real soon, and we'll do that. We'll be back here the week after, and from that point on until at least mid-November, we shall be live. The chat will be here, and we'll be talking about more great sequential art stuff. So Mobius is on the way. Von Baudet is on the way. I can tell you that right now. More great English comics coming along as well. Next, anyway, we'll just save it. But there's more great stuff. Go out and visit your local retailer. Look at those boxes closest to the floor. Look through those black and white magazine boxes. There's some phenomenal, great material out there just waiting for you to find. And your retailer will be grateful for you to buy a few back issues as well and help him keep his lights on, him or her.
But not when they find out they're worth more than they're going for.
Say what now?
But he won't be happy when he finds out that they're worth more than he's putting them out for.
Oh, well, don't say that. Just go in there and buy them.
Well, they know what they're doing.
Get them at a good price. Yeah. They know what they're doing. They're on top of the prices. If they don't, then
I could tell you a story about an X-Men comic that proves they don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. That happens. It's out there in the wild. I've done the same thing back when I had a comic shop. I stupidly put the first appearance of Swamp Thing out for like next to nothing. Had somebody come in and buy it right out from underneath me as soon as he saw it, and it's like, didn't know.
Yep.
So if you're not directly on top of it, sometimes you'll lose out. But a lot of these retailers nowadays have their key issues that they'll go in and buy. And anyway, it says we don't say that part out loud, Glenn.
I didn't. I was just thinking.
Yeah. Folks, we do deeply appreciate you being here. We know the majority of our viewership comes after the fact, and we love you there as well. Make sure you leave a comment or a like and let us know that you watched the program. If you enjoyed this program, tell your friends. We could always use more eyes on this program. We are archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, at the Randy Zim YouTube channel, but most especially over at the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel that has all of our previous programs archived. And we've looked at a wide variety of stuff, and we'll continue to look at more things as we go along. So voices by Jordan. How is it ever debated that comics wasn't art? LOL. Exactly right.
The art schools over here in America hate comics.
Yes, they do. Well, growing up, that's all I heard. Oh, you do comics? You know.
Yeah. They wouldn't fine art elitists.
Over at the Art Institute, I taught one class on cartooning and comics. They wouldn't let me come back because I didn't have paper. I didn't go to a college to learn it. I was all School of Hard Knocks, and I'm like, well, now they teach comics over there. So just not my choice.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, amazing. Folks, again, take care. Glad you were here. Thanks for stopping by. See you on the next one. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great next week. We'll be back here Friday morning, 5 a.m. for a Comics by Night, and then we'll be back here again next Sunday, 9 a.m. for another episode of Sunday Funnies. We'll see you then. Take care, everyone.
See ya.
If you look at something and there's nothing there, what's the difference of figuring out what it was in the first place?
Exactly right.
Joke's on you, bitch. I love this shit.
Bye, Jack.
We really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wayne?
No horseshit, Jack.
No horseshit.
Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.